All right. So today we are going to look at all things listings in designs. And I want to start this off by letting you guys know I know that the market is crazy. And as soon as you put a listing on, it goes under contract. And I get that. I was hoping I had somebody registered to come to this class, and I was hoping to pick their brain a little bit during this part of the class because I know that their team operates this way. So I wanted to make sure that when you guys get a listing that you're doing yourself and more importantly your sellers a favor by giving yourself ample marketing time. And if you're wondering what that means, if you put a listing on the market today, you're going to get offers. Um, but in order to do the listing justice and get as much exposure and hype going on about it as you can, give yourself a few days so that you can have that open house on Sunday. And maybe if you're going to list it on a Thursday, for example, or Wednesday, then you want to say, we're going on the market, but we're going to review all offers on Monday because that way it gives you the opportunity to market because our listings, yes, we need to get it sold, right? But the other thing that we need to do is attract clients for ourselves. It's a win-win. The first W in the Y4C2Ts is win-win or no deal. So it's a win-win for our sellers because we're attracting as much attention as possible to the listing, therefore driving the number of offers up and driving the price up and making sure that we're getting them the most for their listing possible. Also, it is giving us time to market the property appropriately so that we can gain as many clients from it as possible. So make sure that you are giving yourself a few days to get those listings marketed. Just wanted to start off by saying that. But without further ado, we are going to move into our designs applet, which is over on the left-hand side. It's a little art easel with a paintbrush. We're going to go ahead and click that open. It's going to default to any email templates that you have. You can also toggle through and see other designs that you have created, social, print designs, and videos if you have any of those. But what we're going to do is go ahead and click the plus button in the lower right-hand corner. And we are going to start off with a social post. So this first post that I'm going to show you guys is one that could attract more listings. It is based off of the numbers of a listing, but you may want to, here we go. You may want to, if you don't have a previous listing, you may want to ask somebody if they have one that went into multiple offers that you could borrow to get your social media presence built up. So I'm going to go ahead and click use on this one right here so you guys can see it. Again, this is good for attracting listings. So if you can pull a listing that has had a multiple offer situation, again, if you don't have your own, ask around and see if somebody can let you borrow one. So today I'm using Lisa Ledoux's listing at 120 Melrose Place as my example for everything. So we can actually click on KWLS here in the lower left corner on the side, and we are going to look for 1120 Melrose, and I believe it's Street. And there it is here in Winston-Salem. I'm going to click select. You will see that we have access to the pictures that are in the MLS. So I'm going to go ahead and choose this photo here on my design, come over to the left-hand side, and, well, it doesn't want to let me do it. I'll just click the plus button in. I don't know why it doesn't want to let me resize. Let's see if I can slide this in here. Normally you can just replace, but of course it wants to be difficult today. I did this earlier. Layer order, I'm going to send to the bottom. Oh, wait a minute. I know why it's doing it. It's that box. Let me try that again. There we go. So I'm going to replace that with this house. So we can say that this house was listed at 290. And maybe it got, I've heard some crazy numbers, but we're going to stick with 10 offers. And let's say maybe it sold for 315. right? So now is the time to sell. So if you could make yourself a Facebook post like this one and push it out, make sure you're pushing it to your business page so that your branding is in place. Of course, we do need to switch out our logo. If you haven't set up your assets yet, so that you don't have to upload things every single time, make sure that you do that. It'll make your life a lot easier. I'll show that to you here in a moment. So I can click on KW1, it's my folder for my KW1 logos, and click replace. And that brings that logo in for me. If you have a team logo, then you can choose to switch that one out as well. I'm going to go back and just take in my team logo there. Click this one and replace it with my team logo so that I can put that down at the bottom, and it's a different shape. So I'm just going to drag it down, make it small, and pop it down there in the corner. And now move my zoom bar out of the way. Maybe. There we go. Now I can just download this as a PNG and share it to Facebook or any other social media platform that I choose, right? Can download it, preferably as a PNG. That usually gives you the best photo quality. I can also, now that it is for, make sure you're always renaming your designs, guys, because once you make a ton of them like I have, you want to make sure that you can find them when you want them. So the other thing that we can do, I'm just going to open another command window, is if you're using campaigns within command, you could do a free social post. You could also do a paid ad if you so chose and use that graphic. So let me, got some folks rolling in now. So let me go ahead and go here. And if we wanted to go into campaigns on the left, which are our little megaphone, then we could come in to that and create a new campaign here in the upper right and say that we're going to do a social post, which is free. And if it's free, it's for me. So there's no reason to spend money if you don't have to yet. And I can say, you know, the market is hot, hot, hot. Now is the time to sell. If you or anyone you know is interested, blah, 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 right? And then when I come down here to my images, I can actually click browse my designs library. And there is that post I made. My preview is showing up on the right-hand side. So my verbiage that I just added is there. It's going to let us bring in the image that we just made in designs. I'm going to click crop image. It's going to pop it in. And then I can go ahead and post it or schedule it to post, whichever one that I want. And off it will go. If you have multiple business pages like I do, you can select all of them. You can post it to Twitter as long as it's within the number of words that you're allowed on Twitter. And you could schedule that post out from right there and try to attract some of those listings. So that is the first design that we're going to cover, is the one to attract listings. Okay. So next up, let's say that you've got a listing. And again, we're wanting to make sure that we give ourselves plenty of time to market. I digress. We're going to go back. Let's say you're going on a listing appointment. You got a listing appointment and you want to do the listing presentation. I just want to make sure that everybody knows all of the things that we have here. So in designs, under listings, you can actually come down to your listing presentation. You have all of these to choose from, so you can pick which one is your favorite, right? I'm going to say that I like this one. I'm going to click the use button. And it's got some instructions. It's got the cover page. You can choose whichever cover page you like. I'm just going to say that I like this one, so I'm going to click the plus. That has now added that page from the template into my actual design. Okay, so this is a super long listing presentation. You may not need all of these pages, right? So I think the statistic is like 85% of people list with the first agent that they meet with. So, you definitely want to give them something and bring them some comps. We can add those in. And we can come down. Your needs come first. I like the way that sounds. Maybe give them something about the process and click add from that. And you can choose whichever pages that you want to add, but we'll stick with what we have right now. Move this new bar again. And you'll see we have the pages down here at the bottom. We have 6. The first one's always blank. I don't know why it always adds that blank page. So I just drop down and delete. Yes, I do. And now we have this first page. So now I can just go through and edit this out. This time I'll use the KW Elite logo. So I'm going to click the logo. I'm going to come over to my logos. Maybe. Come on, internet, work with me. Work with me. Okay, logos. Just not going to give it to you. Don't you love technology, y'all? Hold on, I'm going to do what I preach. I'm going to go and do an incognito window and see if that'll fix it. Just remember, if you're ever in there, they could be working on something. So we have to give them a little grace and try to go into an incognito window because we might be working in 15 minutes ago's version, which is not the newest version. So I'm going to try going into an incognito window, especially when we are working in designs. We are going to come in here and go back to create print, which is what we were doing, was a listing presentation. This little eyeball up in your URL bar when you are in an incognito, make sure that you click that if it's got the line through it to allow those third-party cookies. And for those of you who like to know why do we go incognito, it is because it's not storing any background data, cache, or cookies, which sometimes can bog out your system if something updated while we were working in there. So we're going to go back to our listing presentation. I think I'd chosen this one. And let's see if we can get this to do its thing. Okay, so I'm going to add those same pages, that one, and comps, and your needs come first. The process, we'll just leave it with those. Up with the pages. Get rid of our blank page. And let's try this again. Yes, I do. I click that logo. I've just totally lost all my stuff. That's interesting. Well, I'm going to move forward out of this print design. Maybe it's just the print design. And we'll revisit the print design in a minute. Let me go back to my regular window and see if we can get, because okay, well, there's my pictures. I promise y'all I tested all this morning and it worked just fine, just swimmingly. Just wants to give me a hard time today. So let's see, we'll look at this, a local expert. This is another way that you can attract listings. But I think Greensboro, I'm not sure. I know definitely in Winston-Salem that you'll see Candy post this How's the Market. This is a great tool to attract listings when you can show people how many listings are coming on, how many contracts are getting written, and how many closings are happening in, it could be the entire Triad MLS or a certain area or a certain neighborhood, certain city, zip code, whatever you want. You just look in the MLS and get these numbers. This is a great little graphic. So I'm going to try this again and see if my logos are back. I know we were having a problem with our logos before, but I had not experienced it at all this week. So I'm not sure. They must be working on something in there, which of course they would be while I'm teaching, because we got it to work just a second ago. And try one more time. Now I'm gonna have that song stuck in my head thanks to the YouTube playlist that was playing when we came in here. Huh. All right. That's good times. We just are not going to be able to change out any of our stuff. Nope, I don't want to go through a guide right now. Thank you. Guys, I do apologize for this. Let me give it a second. It's kind of got my pictures. And there's all this stuff. Let me try this again. There we go. There's my logos. Okay. Oh, see, it keeps going away. So maybe it just doesn't like logos today, apparently. All right. Well, there is another design that you can make usually, and I did make some of these this morning. And I'm going to show you like in the MLS where you can go. This is our example listing today. But just remember, you can always search all kinds of fun stuff in the MLS and get the numbers. So say I wanted to know T7104, what was happening here, and I wanted to look at what is active, pending, accepting backup, pending, due diligence, and closed within the last 30 days, maybe. 167 matches. So this is how I get that data. And you can also run statistical reports with all of this, charts or tabular versions. And so make sure that you play around with the MLS so that you know what you can and cannot do with it, right? But you can definitely use that to populate how many new listings, how many new contracts, and how many closings have happened in whatever specific set of time. Like this says 24 hours. You could do the last 30 days or the last week, whatever you're looking to do. And I'm going to try one more time to replace that image. There we go. All right. So we're working sometimes and sometimes we're not. They have to be in here working on something though, because I did all of this morning. So that is another post that you can do. You can also do a coming soon post. So if you're an agent that likes to do coming soon no-show listings in the MLS, we can now do social media postings, but make absolutely sure that you are following the MLS guidelines. Do not do stuff that is against the rules. So when you're in the MLS, click the help button, search coming soon, rules and regulations and bylaws, coming soon bullet point rules, and coming soon no show, what is allowed and what is not, right? So make sure that you're following those rules. Don't just come in here all willy-nilly and break the rules. So I'm going to try one more time to do that listing presentation. And we're just not going to use the logo for right now because I want you guys to see how this works. The anything print is a little bit different than like the graphics. So you want to make sure that when you add your page, like so, I'm going to try KWLS 1120 Melrose Street. That has a nice, pretty front exterior. I can select that image, come over here and replace it with that. So if you are going to a listing presentation, you might want to make sure that you can either drive by the house, snap a photo of the front exterior, pull it from the tax cards, whatever you need to do so that it looks customized to your people, right? Click on the agent's photo here and you can go to your own images and replace it with your own. And you can replace all of this with your own data by double clicking into the text box. I can type in my own name, my own last name. We can move stuff around wherever we need it to be. And we can replace our cell phone number, mobile app. If you have your assets set up, you can actually click on text and go under my assets. I bet they're adding these guides in here is what they were doing that was making us kind of glitch out. If I go under my assets for my text, I have like my Facebook URL, my app code, my websites, my cell phone number, my name, my email address, my biography. So that way I don't have to constantly type it. I can actually just come in here and replace parts of it with these pieces. I'm going to do a replace there, put that logo in there like so, and you can go through. Now, pages. You go back to template and you can add your next page, whichever next page you want that to be. Say it's your comps. So just because you see it on the left-hand side does not mean it's going to be in your design. You have to actually click the plus button over here to move it into your design here in the center. And you'll just check MLS for some comparable properties, download those front exteriors and replace them, put in the different parameters for that, and then print this out nice and pretty and take it to your listing appointment. Once you have made your listing presentation and you're pretty excited about the way it is in its format, it will be there as a template. So when I come into design and go over to print now, you will see where I have made these, and you can see why it's important to title your stuff here. So I'm going to save this as 4/16, 2021 listing presentation. And maybe you have one that's a little more in depth for a luxury property and a little shorter for properties that are under presentation. Can't type. There we go. And one that's a little bit shorter for, properties under 150 or, whatever you need to do to make it what you want it. So now you'll see 4/16/2021 listing presentation. You'll just be able to open this one up and switch out the property that you're going to list that day. So definitely by far the print take the most work. So you want to get those to the place where you want them to be and just change them out as you go. The social graphics are super simple. So does anybody have any questions about the print presentations? Are we feeling good on that? Like we can navigate through there? Okay, cool. So next up, so that's when you're going to your listing presentation, but now you got the listing. You can actually come in. I'm going to click the home button. While I go to the home button here, I want to show you guys where your assets are. You'll see that when you come out of command into designs, that your title changes, right? When you're in command, you see console login or command dashboard, right? When you're in designs, you see We Brands because that is the company that is providing our designs. So when you come out of command into the We Brand platform, you're kind of in a different ecosystem there. And it takes you creating a design and getting to this point before you will see brand assets show up at the top. And so when you click on this, you can create your own color palettes. This is my main palette. Maybe you have a different color palette for the holidays and one for spring. You can upload fonts. So if you had a personalized font built for your brand, you can upload that here. Just remember that when you upload it, it needs to be in one of these 5 formats listed here on the bottom, okay? And you have to make sure that you legally own the font. So whether you bought one online or had somebody create one for you, you can upload your font there. You can add logos. And as you can see, I created a folder with this button here so that I have my KW1 logos, I have my KW Realty Elite logos, and when you guys were KW Greensboro, I have those. So you can create folders to keep everything nice and neat. So say you have team logos and then you have the company logos, then you can do that. Smart text is where you can add your Facebook, your app code, your websites, your phone numbers, so that when you're in your designs, under each thing, text, you have my assets. There's all my text. Under logos, I have my assets, and there's my folders, right? So setting these up ahead of time make it much easier once you're in there making stuff so that you don't have to go and look for it and upload it and all that kind of stuff. So definitely take the time to do that when you get a chance. So now we're going to go back into our templates and we're going to look at a coming soon post. So under listings, we have coming soon. We can do flyers, trifolds, bifolds, right? Postcards, standard postcards, door hangers, social stories, social squares, and social wide. I am kind of a fan of this one where it's kind of blocking out the back of the house. So I'm going to click use on that one. I'm going to let that load up. Since it's coming soon, you know, it's kind of behind the curtain here is the way I look at it. So we can do this, and in the background, we can switch out that picture. Of course, when you put something coming soon, you have to have one front exterior, right? That's the MLS rule. So you definitely want to make sure that you have one front exterior at least. Melrose. You would be uploading this from your computer, but I don't have a listing, so I am borrowing the lovely Lisa Ledoux's listing. Let's switch out that background picture, and I can say coming soon. Double click 1120 Melrose. Caps lock Melrose Street. And so you can see that went down. I can resize my text if I wanted to, so that it all fit on one line. Like the design, I was at 60, so maybe I want to try to hit 54 maybe. There you go. So you can have it all in one line. And this is a social story where they can swipe left and look through several pictures. So you could do this and then save it and upload that into Instagram. You can't do that through command yet. There's no social posting to Instagram through command yet. We will get there. Right now, it's only Facebook and paid ads to Instagram. So just keep that in mind. So that's another example of a coming soon that you can do. And when you list it and it's ready to go, I do recommend, like we talked about, I know all of you weren't in here at the beginning, that we give ourselves ample time to market, because we need to attract buyers for ourselves and multiple offers for our clients. So make sure that you have a few days of marketing time. During that time, you can do the coming soon. If you're a person that does coming soon, you can do just listed flyers, postcards, Facebook posts, door hangers, right? So you can actually create door hangers in here, send them to a local printer, go around the neighborhood and hang those up. Facebook posts, Instagram posts, you can tweet it out. You could do a paid Facebook ad. Then when it's active, I would do the same thing. And when it's an open house, I really, really, really would do neighborhood door hangers, right? You can really build your business. Some people have built huge businesses just off of open houses. So you see they have these door hangers down here that say coming soon. They also have them under open house over here on the left. They have door hangers here. So I definitely recommend doing these. I know we're in the time of COVID, so if you're going to be out there doing this stuff with door knocking, make sure that you're following CDC guidelines. Don't freak anybody out or anything. But you can go in here and you can create these door hangers and just send them to Staples or Office Max, whoever has a sale going on right now, and get a teenager to go out and hang them for you if you don't want to do it yourself, or if you do want to do it, go out and knock on the doors. I know that I saw Brad Kiger had an ice cream truck come to the neighborhood for his open house, and he was able to get a whole lot of action and connections and talk to people, and that's what this is all about. So I would definitely do that. And then post sold, right? You're going to revert back and go into those just sold flyers, just sold door hangers if you want to, postcards, Facebook posts. Back to the beginning where we made the one that said this one under contract in this amount of time with this many offers for this much above asking. You're going to start the cycle all over again with some of the just sold items that you have to start attracting more listings. Another thing that's really popular right now is video. So you'll see when you were in your assets here, I'm going to go back so that you can see your assets. Make a video about how hot the market is right now and how fast stuff is going under contract. Maybe throw a couple of examples into that video. Just keep it short and sweet though. And then under your brand assets, you can actually come down to videos and you can add that video. You can just put on YouTube as an unlisted or as a listed video. And then you can click the plus button with YouTube link and you can go to your YouTube channel. If you don't have one yet, make one. It comes free with your Google account. It's not like it costs you anything. And make yourself a little video about how hot the market is right now. So then you can come in here. Ken Posick, if you're not following him, he is the king of video right now. Love, love, love him. So I definitely recommend that you follow him. I'm just going to pick some random video from my channel and use the link. I'll use this referral network one. Here we go. I'm going to copy this link and come down here into my videos, paste that URL there and add it. So once I have that video here, right, you could make one for how hot the market is, why rent when you can buy because interest rates are so low. Maybe you talk about, are you paying $1,200 a month in rent? Here are some examples of homes that you could buy and own for $1,200 a month. Make yourself some videos, put them here in your brand assets. You can use them for posting. You can use them to send out one-step email smart plans. You can do all kinds of things with them. You can even send them as a text through Twilio, right? To your whole database. So make sure that you're set yourself apart from other people. Not a whole lot of people are doing video because they don't like the way they look. I was like that too. And now all I do is take videos of myself talking to people. So if it doesn't make you comfortable, you're not stretching hard enough, right? So let's keep trying to think outside the box there with stuff that we can do. But you can see all of these things that are available to you. And you don't have to pigeonhole yourself. If you really like the way this design looks, for example, and it says open house, but really you're not having an open house, you can still click use and do just listed instead, right? There you go. And then you can add the different stuff that you want to add in there or take away what you don't want in there. Does anybody have any questions about how to do these designs or why we're doing them? I mean, these are all free if you think about it. So use them as much as you can. When you list it, when you put it under contract, when you sell it after you've sold it, use it the whole time because you're just constantly building your brand that way. But I'm gonna open it up for questions, or if you guys want to see anything at all, I'm happy to show it to you. We good? I'm looking over here so I can see your faces on my other screen. No questions at all. We feeling good? I know, Autumn, you've been in designs quite a bit. Tamika, I'm sure that you've been getting in there pretty regularly. Little go-getter. But yeah, definitely hit those brand assets. And when you get a listing, it's not just about getting it sold for the seller. It's about building your business with buyers and sellers also, because if other sellers see that you are getting these houses marketed and that you're really pushing the marketing, and that you're getting them sold for over asking within a very short amount of time, then that's going to drive them to want to reach out to you as well. So don't consider it bragging, consider it helping families realize their real estate dreams and push it out there as much as you can. If you guys don't have any more questions, I'm going to go ahead and end up our recording. And I hope that you have a wonderful weekend.